Ask for the truth on behalf of OpalElise Rickwood concerning relationship issues. And ask this in the name of truth, right conduct, peace, love, and non-violence. Blessed be to the truth, always. Okay there, OpalElise, just place the cards to the side. And we'll deal out 3 cards in a spread, 3-card spread of course. And each card in the spread has a relevant meaning, as you know, but each position in the spread is linked to a particular aspect. In this case, the first one is the recent past, the next one is the present, and then of course the immediate future is the one after that. The immediate future, of course, is about a moon phase ahead, whereas the recent past over here is the moon phase behind. About 3 or 4 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks or so ahead and behind. Of course, we start like a timeline, like we would with anything, any story, with a beginning, a middle, and an end. With you having a question, of course, then the reading itself is linked to your relationship. So the meaning of the first card is vibrating with your recent past, connected to the relationship issue that you've raised. So that's how you can get guidance from it, by saying what you want guidance with, and then using the meaning of the card in, say, for the first one, we establish where you were from a relationship point of view, you could say, couldn't you? Or not, as the case may be. Well, let's just flip this card nice and steady, nice and slow, not to disturb the energy, and we'll just see what you've got. You got the energy of the golem. That's believed to be like a clay figure that was brought to life or something there. That's some sort of mythical thing there. In this particular case, from a relationship point of view, of course, we get the impression as though somebody was probably putting a good word in for you, probably doing you a favour or something like that. A close friend acts on your behalf just recently to sort of try and do something there, acted on your behalf, past tense as you would say, to try and bring things about. Maybe it was somebody you wanted to ask out on a date or something, and you thought, oh, ask him, or ask Brian or Dave or whoever he is, or ask Mary or something. She'll you know, whoever the name is, she'll put on just, oh, by the way, you couldn't mind putting a good word, just telling him, or maybe they have acted on your behalf without you knowing, in the sense of, you know, OpalElise there, she's got her eye on you, you know. I just thought I'd let you know. This sort of thing going on, you know, not that there's anything malicious going on, because he's a friend, isn't he? He's a close friend who's trying to help you. But of course, there's a touch of darkness there, isn't there, nevertheless, just at the back there, touch of darkness, but regardless of that, it seems as if things have been done with good intent, anyway. Let's put it that way. Regardless of maybe the only darkness side of it, I suppose, is the fact that we're doing it behind your back without your knowledge. Maybe you would have liked to have known, at least, but we know now. let's just pull out the this card here. And this card, the meaning of this card is in the position of the present. So this is like you right now in this relationship or not, or this relationship situation as you are in right now. We'll just flip that card nice there and just see. Yes, I mentioned the darkness, and of course it's there now, isn't it? It's manifested itself fully. And yes, darkness looms on the horizon right now for you from a relationship standpoint. I noticed the darkness, or just sensed sort of like darkness in the background or behind the golem, behind whatever was brought to life there, whoever acted on your behalf. It's led to something dark there. Maybe just uncertainty, maybe just as simple as that. But either way, it hasn't helped matters. Maybe it was done with the best of intent, but it hasn't helped. And there is about as much chance of you being in a relationship right now at the moment, really as there would be in serving pork chops in a Greek synagogue. Let's just put it that way. Let's just pull out the next card, and we'll just we'll bring that round, and we'll just, as you would say, rotate that nice and slowly, flip it nice and slow, just to reveal the knight. A character there, an energy from the royal court, the knight, obviously fighting on your behalf, bringing some sort of triumph, some sort of victory, triumph over adversity anyway. Whatever the adversity is, whatever the darkness is, whatever the problem is, be it a person or be it a thing or a circumstance, situations, either way, you will triumph and you will get victory. The knight's energy there, his spirit there will be shielding you and protecting you. And of course, the sword will be, of course, it's a two-edged sword, so you have to watch out there, don't you? But nevertheless, from a relationship point of view, of course, you will triumph. Well, around about Valentine's, sort of maybe Valentine's-ish, late February. As everybody's done the Valentine thing and all settling down, maybe you just settle down just a bit slightly later than that. But the darkness on the horizon right now doesn't look good, does it? With that, I'm looking on the skull there again, and the skull as if to indicate the death of. I got a funny feeling if you are in a relationship, it's died out. It's like the death of a relationship right now. Somebody's put a good word in for you, maybe. But I still go back for you in the sense of this going on a date and somebody putting not going on a date, somebody putting a word in and asking, say, or telling somebody else that such and such a body has an eye on you, Eloise there has an eye on you, and so forth. I still feel it's that, and it's just that right now there doesn't look much hope at the moment. But remember the raven, the energy of the raven, of course. The raven is magic, isn't he? And he can help you own your power in the sense of sort of, I suppose, empower you in some way and provide you guidance and bring you out of the darkness, the very darkness that looms on the horizon. He can bring you out of that into the light of triumph. So maybe it looks as though something's just around the corner. From a relationship point of view, I doubt it to some degree, but then again, because the question was about relationships, we can't rule that out. I want to pull another card out just to see, because yes, I do. Yes, the triumph is to do with relationship. It's got to be. Logic tells you that, because that was the question, and that's what the energy will be linking to. It wasn't a financial thing or a health thing or anything like that, but certainly right now, of course, we're just pulling out this next card that talks about March, maybe springtime. You got the serpent. Of course, the snake is a healer, isn't he? And I've got a funny feeling there'll be a calling for you after this triumph to heal, or help heal others. Help heal others, as you would say. But of course, a sly and subtle approach will be needed in that regard. After this, maybe that's the lesson you'll be, from the relationship point of view, the lesson that you will learn, of course, is that a sly and subtle approach will be needed in the sense of the recent triumph as will be. That's just around the corner will teach you that maybe the way, or the way you triumphed, or whatever it was that helped you, will help you just be a bit more, literally sly and subtle, in a sense, keeping a low profile in future. Maybe not speak out, maybe not ask a close friend to act on your behalf in future. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's best you do it yourself. I always say, why is it I always end up having to do everything my bloody self? And it's true, isn't it? To some degree. Of course, the snake represents healing because it sheds its skin. But of course, a snake, a serpent, can get into the nooks and crannies of a situation and the crevices in the natural world, and that's why sometimes you can probably get into the detail of it, although a sly and subtle approach is needed. Nevertheless, you can get into the detail, attention to the detail, and to maybe talk about things. Probably now I've got triumph over that, in the sense of now you've won them over, or now you've broke the ice, as you would say, with them. You can talk about things, but of course having to be not crafty, but just literally that sly and subtle, in the sense of just getting around it nice and slowly, and not just being too imposing on them. But of course, remember, the serpent it can also represent change, usually represents change, in the sense it sheds its skin for that sort of regenerational sort of point of view. And of course, like a lot of change, or some change, it can have a nasty bite. So although it's given a more sort of eerie sort of character here, nevertheless, that's how healing works, though, isn't it? Sometimes you just have to get in there. That's well, like counselling, isn't it? With some people, you have to just listen to them, and not be too imposing, and just let them work in their own time. And maybe, well, I'm thinking that, I don't know why I suddenly said that. I don't bloody know. I got a funny feeling as though the person you've got your eye on, or the person who may have their eye on you, or a future relationship just around the corner, may need that, the one you when the argument with, or went through, or bring out of the darkness. Maybe the relationship you are in, if you are in one, is just in a bit of a dark place at the moment, but you will triumph over that, and you'll come through the other side, if it's a depression thing, or I don't know. So many aspects there just to view there, and it's very interesting, isn't it? But nevertheless, you will actually, around about March time, or early April, you'll be called upon really to fulfill your purpose as a healer, and heal the situation, and help others heal as well. Still somehow coming through to that, I don't know why. Maybe because you've got the ability to get in the nooks of crannies of a situation, and get into the detail, and talk about things that, or help people talk about things that they would rather not talk about, but nevertheless it will help them get through that. So I got a funny feeling you've got a calling here as well, just inadvertently in the cards, the energies that are here. So with that, I think we'll leave it for now, and maybe next time, if drawn, or whenever the next time, we can probably see what happened, if there's any feedback there, or what. For now, though, these cards have spoken.